Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a triumphant Tuesday. I know I certainly have. Today we're going to be diving into Cardano, and we've got a lot to share with you in this video. This is going to be an exciting and explosive video, so make sure you watch it right the way through. We're going to do a slightly different format in this one. We're going to be talking about a number of things, and we're going to be going over some news-related headlines and things happening within the Cardano ecosystem to start the video off, and then we'll be leaving the technicals to the second half of the video. So make sure you stick around for that, guys, because I am going to be re-emphasizing the fact that I am absolutely expecting a breakout for ADA. We have the perfect storm brewing in terms of our DeFi space. We've also got history repeating in the forms of a hard fork, how we're probably going to get a run up to it. We've got that MACD cross. We've got Bitcoin that is playing out exactly as we've set out for it to do so. So make sure you stick around to the second half of the video. We'll be dropping down the timeframes, going over a number of things, and of course looking at the total value locked within the DeFi ecosystem. So let's start the video off by talking about Coty, which is the company that has been tasked to essentially develop Djed, or Djed, because the D is of course silence. But essentially, they gave us an update not that long ago where they were talking about Coty launching Djed's testnet. This is extremely significant. You guys know just what I think stablecoins are going to do for the Cardano ecosystem. You're going to see a lot of those stablecoins go into a lot of the protocols and also go into Cardano itself. And actually, how you mint Djed involves actually locking up potentially some of the underlying assets, namely Cardano, in order to produce the stablecoin. But there's something that I don't really see too many people talking about at all that I wanted to share with you. I'm going to do a much longer video on both Djed and Shen, because I haven't actually seen somebody talking about Shen. And Shen is almost like, it's the reserve token, the reserve coin for Djed. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically, it means it's the beneficiary, sort of like the governance token of a protocol, of Djed stablecoin, which means that it gets a share of the transactions. It, of course, isn't a stablecoin, so Djed's really for utility within the Cardano ecosystem as a stablecoin. You guys know, again, stablecoins are going to be absolutely huge. If you go and look at other ecosystems on DeFi Llama, go and look at how much the total value locked within them is, and go and account for how much of that is stablecoin. It's usually more stablecoin in a lot of these ecosystems, certainly when you're talking about Terra, than within the actual protocols themselves. But Shen essentially isn't going to be a stablecoin. It's going to be an investment, essentially, is the way I look at it. It's going to be a beneficiary of Djed, which if it proves to be, Djed proves to be as dominant within the Cardano stablecoin ecosystem as I think it may be, it's certainly got the hype around it, then Shen may be a good potential investment. But that's not financial advice at all, guys. We will do a longer video on Shen and, of course, Djed, and give you more of an update. But, you know, Djed, I'm thinking it's going to sort of come out around the second half of the year. But we are going to get the testnet within weeks, you know, if not, you know, we could get it end of this week, sort of next week, and things seem to be going quite well there. They had mentioned a kind of niggly bug that they were kind of finding out, but I won't play this video. You guys can go and watch it yourself over on Coty's YouTube channel. Let's move on to the next thing. Across the board, this is a trend that we keep talking about. We are seeing exponential growth in terms of on-chain metrics. Cardano adds over 450,000 wallets to its network in Q1 2022. Around 5,000 daily new wallets opening up, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, some of those could be the same people opening up multiple wallets. We know the NFT space. People are pretty good at capturing a lot of the mints with multiple wallets. So just bear all that in mind. But this is certainly another metric that we're seeing trend upwards on top of everything else going on. You know, the on-chain metrics, whether that be Plutus scripts, whether that be delegated wallets, whether that be distribution from large holders to small holders, or indeed just wallets, are going up and to the right. You know, things are all moving in the right direction. It's a very strong blockchain, Cardano, for a number of reasons, and it has a lot of other things that it's not. It's an organically growing blockchain, which is one thing that I love about it, and I think it's got one of the best communities out there. So yeah, let's move on to the next bit of news. This was from Input Output. Nearly 800 projects are currently building on top of Cardano, and this is just the beginning. Absolutely, this is just the beginning. Keeping track of all the news is quite the job, and we're still working on it. But we've got you covered. In this thread, we'll be looking at the latest cryptocurrency. So this is always a great thread. It mentions right at the top, you know, of course, it mentions Multimedia. I think people still underestimate just how significant a layer 2 on top of Cardano actually is. And this is not going to be appreciated till later on down the line, like everything that is being built right now, because people, you know, the appreciation typically comes later on. The hard work comes first, which is a lot of these projects are doing. Multimedia are a perfect example of that, and then the appreciation will come down the line when people sort of start to really cotton on to what's going on here. So you've got nearly 900 projects building, and this is where we currently are. This is going to be to the thousands, if not tens of thousands into the future. And what happens to ADA, the underlying token that facilitates all this, when that is the case? You know, it's why I'm investing in Cardano today. We know we are cautiously optimistic on sort of macro markets and everything going on, but we've explained that in great detail. And by the way, guys, if you didn't catch my earlier video where we're talking about the US, the UK regulations, we covered it briefly in yesterday's Cardano video, but I did a much longer video on this earlier. Please go and give that a watch. It's well worth it, and you'll get some of my real and honest views of everything going on at the moment. This seems to be really popular. Later today, Snoop Dogg and an NFT creator, Champ Medici, and IOHK will come together for an unmissable conversation. Yeah, lots of people like Snoop Dogg. I like Snoop Dogg. I think it's amazing that Clay Nation, who is a project that we've covered, and you know, we were buying clays, and we did do a sort of CNFT video every day at one point, sort of before all this. You know, they're really doing a great job, and you can't take anything away from them. Snoop Dogg's manager, though, has him working double time. I can tell you that much. And, of course, this is all really good. Not only is it amazing for Clay Nation, but it's good for the Cardano ecosystem as it kind of puts the spotlight through Snoop Dogg on it, which is certainly interesting, and I will be listening to this. Another article here from the NASDAQ, why Cardano could be worth the wait. These guys seem to be covering Cardano more and more frequently, and I think it's because, you know, when things were being built, nobody really wanted to know. Now things are kind of built and getting actually implemented, everyone's starting to get rather excited. Let's get into the technicals then, guys. This, of course, is the weekly chart for Cardano. You guys know that we had that bullish cross. We've been highlighting that for a while and saying you're going to get continuation from it. You've also got your hard fork coming up in June, which is the Vasil hard fork. Every prior hard fork, we've seen a run up to it. So history's kind of repeating on that front. It is rather make or break given where you are in regards to your weekly EMA for what EMAs are worth. And if you look at the monthly, you've kind of done a similar thing to what you did over here, where you've kind of sold off below it. You were very overextended here, very impulsive run. And then you've kind of come back down. You found an equilibrium. You've put a toe below it, and now you're starting to close above it, which in my opinion is quite a bullish sign. Let's drop down to the daily. You guys know what we're watching. We're watching for the head and shoulders that we've essentially set out. This is your left shoulder, this is your head, and this is your weak right shoulder with this as your neckline. We've been highlighting this for a long, long time. People only now just starting to talk about it. You also have, you know, a lot of structure, a lot of positive structure potentially ahead of us. So if you come, and this is an impulsive break, and you set up another one, you'll see that further continuation. So this takes you to around about 160, which is what we're calling for in yesterday's video, a little bit higher than 160. But, you know, this could just be the start of much larger structure that takes you back towards your sort of all-time highs, which is what we're certainly looking at. And things don't look that bad at all, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just quickly drop down the time frames. I like this structure. In fact, okay, we've already drawn all over the place. We'll take some of this off so that I can make it a little bit neat for everybody and not look like a I'm so incompetent. You know, I like this structure, to be honest, especially as this is your neckline of your head and shoulders. Can you see what's going on here? You're coiling up and you're hammering on your what is now resistance, potentially looking for that break. I think you're going to get this break. You know, I'm absolutely anticipating, and what I'd love to see is a momentumous break, something similar to this setting up on the other side, because that would set us up for the next head and shoulders, which, just out of curiosity, we will do for you the target of that. So we did have the target around about 160. We'll get rid of the arrow signaling the hard fork coming up. You know, if we go to the bottom here, roughly, guys, this is, by the way, so don't quote me, you know, it'll miss by like a couple of cents, and people's going, oh, you know, you're back to your all-time highs, if that is the case. Let's drop it down to the, or bring it up to the daily, I should say, not drop it down. You could be looking at that kind of a structure, and that's how you get out of this rut. Lots of ifs and buts. You know, of course, Bitcoin has to play ball, which at the moment it's playing out exactly as we set it out to do so. Again, MACD cross. Every time you have this MACD cross, what do you get? Period of consolidation, which we were the only ones calling for, by the way. You know, everyone was going, okay, MACD cross, it's go time. It is go time, but it typically takes a little bit of time for it to go up. Usually when you have this MACD cross occurrence, you kind of slug around for a bit before you get that further continuation. But I do believe further continuation is going. The only thing I'm, of course, and people go, oh no, don't mention everything that's going on right now. The crypto space does not exist in its own little bubble anymore, guys. Yeah, we've moved away. 2021 taught me a lot, and it taught me that we're now playing a different game to the one that we were previously playing when we were following the 4-year cycle theory, and we were essentially following the halvening, which is what drives the 4-year cycle theory. The game has changed, guys, and you've got to change with it. It's why the likes of your Plan B stock to flow and everything got kind of thrown out the window, and it's something that you need to acknowledge. You need to evolve with this space. You know, it's okay to change your mind on things. It's okay to get things wrong, as long as you learn from it. The definition of an idiot is somebody that repeats the same thing time and time again and continues to get it wrong without changing what he's doing to get that result. Don't be that guy. You're allowed to change your mind in this space. If things change, you change with it, and that's how you'll make money as an investor. And we've got lots of great content talking to some amazing people about being an investor, people that have been in markets for longer than I've been alive, and also that are actually active traders and successful ones at that. I can guarantee you, in fact, I'm not even going to go down this rant about other people that talk on this space, on this platform. But, you know, it's very easy to spot who does and doesn't do things, who's the real deal and who's not, you know, once you've been in this market for a sustained period of time. But that is really all I have for you in this video. I keep drawing on the chart, which is something that I love to do on accident. Total value locked. We're seeing it uptick again. You know, it's stable coins again. Back to Djed, the update, and of course, Shen is going to be a huge catalyst for growth. One thing that I'm actually going to be very interested in is Shen going to be launched on top of ADA. So we are going to do a much deeper dive into what blockchain Shen's actually going to be launched on. Because, by the way, I think people still think that COTI is built on top of Cardano. COTI is its own blockchain. Let me make that apparent. I don't know who misinformed individuals that was the case, but COTI is its own blockchain. And Djed is built on top of Cardano, and COTI is the company that essentially have been tasked with building Djed. So the overall market's looking a little bit more chirpy. We're looking good, providing that Bitcoin looks okay. People are going, okay, well, why isn't Cardano sort of rallying like others? Also, monthly's significant, which we covered. We'll use this. We'll use the daily. You got to remember, Cardano saw nearly a 61% increase. A pullback and a rest from that is very normal. The overall market direction moves together, but your altcoins will move at different time periods within that. So that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If you've enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated. So as a comment, remember there's a link to my Discord in the description. If you're not already following me on Twitter, head over to @RealAllInCrypto, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesdays.